Hey everyone, welcome back to this Dark Vengeance battle report where a Ravenwing bike squadron led by Sergeant Arion is trying to take on multiple waves of Chaos Cultists. So engagement 2, Chaos Cultists, turn 1. Here's what the battlefield looked like at engagement 2. As you can see, there's now terrain on the board and the two squads of Chaos Cultists. The first squad fires the Ravenwing, needing 4s to hit, so get 1 hit and 1 wound. I roll a 3-up armor save, and I pass. The second squad shoots the Ravenwing, gets 3 hits, and those 3 hits get 2 wounds by 6s. The wound has to go on the closest guy, and I fail my first armor save, and I fail my second armor save, so 2 of my squadron are dead instantly. And here's my reaction. I roll a leadership test, and luckily I pass. Now it's up to the Sergeant. So Ravenwing, turn 1 in engagement 2. So Sergeant Arion triumphantly goes towards the closest squad of cultists, gets 2 shots off with his bolters, and 2 wounds. So 2 dead cultists. Those cultists roll a leadership check and fail and run 9 inches away from him. That is not good news for Arion, as I wanted to assault this turn. Chaos Cultists, turn 2. It's not looking very good for the Dark Angels. Dave begins by rolling a leadership check for the falling back squad, and they pass. The squad then moves up to shoot at my sergeant, and the second squad follows suit. That way, if they don't get an assault, they can still block me. To save time, they all fire at him, but only roll 5 hits. And of those 5 hits, no wounds. They then declare their charge, in which I overwatch on the smaller squad, need 6s, but I get to reroll because twin linked, and 1 hit. And 1 wound, so the closest cultist must die. They then roll for assault distance. The first squad gets an 8, and the second squad gets a 7, which is plenty enough distance to get into combat with Sergeant Arion. The Sergeant gets to go first. On the smaller squad, rolls 2 hits and 1 wound, in which Dave fails his save, so 1 of the 2 of the small squad is dead. The cultists hit back and get 6 hits, and out of the 6 hits, 1 wound. We decided to use a big dice for dramatic purposes. I roll and I pass, so he's still alive. They roll their leadership test at -1. The first squad fails, and the second squad passes. The first squad falls back 5 inches. So Ravenwing, turn 2. Can the Sergeant survive? We'll have to see. Sergeant Arion hits first, rolls 2 attacks, 1 hit, and no wound. The cultists then hit back and get a wound on the Sergeant. Here I am looking concerned, but I pass my armor save, and I'm relieved. And now Chaos Cultists, turn 3. Once again, Dave begins by taking a leadership check for that guy, and fails it, and he runs back 12 inches, so he's practically off the board. Back to the assault, Sergeant hits first, gets 1 hit, and 1 wound. But Dave gets lucky and passes another save. Here's how I felt, and here's how Dave felt. The cultists then attack back, get 1 hit, but fail to wound. So tied combat. Now Ravenwing, turn 3. Here's a dramatic reenactment of Sergeant getting attacked by all those cultists. And as you can see, they're swarming him and trying to take him down. He gets 2 attacks, 1 hit, and a wound. This time, Dave does not pass his save and has to take off a cultist. They then attack back, get 2 hits and a wound. Here I am looking concerned, and I roll and I pass. Thus, I am relieved. Dave rolls a leadership and passes at -1 with perfect 1s. Now, cultist, turn 4. Dave takes a leadership check for that 1 cultist and passes, so he regroups and moves back towards the combat. And he runs 2 inches up. Back to the combat, where the Sergeant is still getting smothered by all those cultists. He hits first, getting 1 hit, 1 wound, and Dave fails his save, so 1 dead cultist. They then hit back, fail to hit, roll leadership check, and pass again. And here's my response. Ravenwing, turn 4. So the Sergeant hits first, rolls, but misses both hits, and I am just blown away at my luck in the rolling. Cultists then hit back, get 1 hit, but no wound. So tied combat. Cultists, turn 5. The 1 remaining cultist moves up, and then rolls again assault, rolls a 7, and is able to get back into assault with the sergeant. Here is a panoramic shot of the combat. As always, sergeant hits first, 2 attacks, both hit, but 1 wound. Dave fails to save, and 1 more cultist is dead. For dramatic purposes, the first squad then hit back and failed to hit. Finally, that 1 cultist with a ball and chain gets in, gets his 2 attacks, 1 hit, and a wound. I am thinking that this is probably the end of the sergeant. I roll the dice, and I fail. The sergeant has died, and here's the look on my face. And Dave rejoiced. Here's just a dramatic reenactment of what happened. He hit him with his ball and chain, and the sergeant fell over, and the guy was happy and rejoiced. That means it's a Chaos Cultist victory.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this Dark Vengeance battle report. As you can see, I can't roll well for my life. And Dave is an amazing roller. Yeah. I know. Frankly, I don't see how, and this was only the 2nd engagement, and the 3rd engagement, you didn't see this, but he actually would have brought out 20 cultists to challenge that 1 sergeant if he survived, and he didn't even survive the 10 cultists. So, yeah, for once, it's interesting seeing how imbalanced it could be against the Space Marine player. For cultists. Who knew? I know. That's exactly my words too. Exactly my words too.
So many times. I should have failed my leadership, and you should have just driven away. And yeah, that was good.
In retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have fired or gotten assault whatsoever. I should have just driven and not even looked behind me. Just driven around them and into the sunset. That might have been the better plan. But you blocked me pretty well. So,
yes.
Well, that was fun. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for another Dark Vengeance battle report with Dave and Jay.
Do another one.
We're gonna do definitely another one. Yeah. See you. Till next time. This is Jay saying, happy wargaming, everyone.